Hey there, amazing people. Ever felt that burning desire to know what folks really think? You know, the honest truth, without any sugarcoating? Or maybe that little knot of fear in your stomach, when you suspect something isn't quite right. We've all been there, haven't we? That ache of wanting things to be better, the sting of disappointment. Well, today's story dives right into that mix of feelings. Have you ever wondered what happens when someone in charge steps out of their fancy office and into the real world, where the magic either happens or, well, doesn't? Before we jump in, take a second to hit that like button. It tells us you're ready for a story that might just tug at your heartstrings. And hey, drop a comment below and let us know where you're watching from. It's always incredible to see how far our stories reach. This one's especially for you. Imagine this. Maverick Jones, the big boss of Stellar Cinemas. Yeah, that Stellar Cinemas with the comfy seats and the smell of buttery popcorn that just makes your mouth water. He had this nagging feeling. A little voice in his head whispering that maybe, just maybe, things weren't as perfect as they seemed from his corner office. So what does Maverick do? He does something totally unexpected. He goes undercover. Yep, swaps his suit for a regular jacket, his fancy car for bus, and walks right into one of his own movie theaters, the Grandview 8. Nobody recognized him. He was just another face in the crowd, another person waiting in line for tickets. He started by helping out at the concession stand, try his hand at popping corn. Let's just say it wasn't his strongest skill. He cleaned up spilled soda, dealt with a grumpy customer who complained about the movie being too loud, and just listened. He listened to the chatter, the laughter, the little snippets of conversations that floated through the air. Everything seemed pretty normal, the kind of hustle and bustle you'd expect on a Friday night. Kids excitedly talking about superheroes, couples whispering sweet nothings, friends debating which snacks to get. It was the kind of happy chaos that Maverick usually only saw in the weekly reports. But then, as he was wiping down a table in the lobby, he heard something that made him stop dead in his tracks. Two young girls, maybe around 12 or 13, were sitting on one of the benches, their voices low and serious. "I don't think we can come back here anymore, Chloe." One of them, a girl with bright pink streaks in her hair named Luna, said quietly. The other girl, Chloe, with a scattering of freckles across her nose, nodded sadly. "Yeah, it's just too expensive now. My mom said we have to find something cheaper to do." Maverick's heart sank a little. Too expensive? He knew ticket prices had gone up slightly recently, but he hadn't realized it was making it hard for families to enjoy a simple movie night. These were the very people he wanted to bring joy to give them a few hours of escape and entertainment. And now, they felt like they couldn't afford it. He slowly walked closer, pretending to sweep the floor, wanting to hear more. "Remember when they had those afternoon deals?" Chloe continued, her voice laced with a hint of longing. "We used to come every other week." Luna sighed. "Yeah, those were the best. Now it's like a special treat if we can even come once a month." A wave of guilt washed over Maverick. He had been so focused on the numbers, the profit margins, the bottom line, that he had forgotten the real reason Stellar Cinemas existed: to bring the magic of movies to everyone, not just those who could easily afford it. He wanted to walk over and tell them who he was, to promise them things would change. But something held him back. He wanted to see more, to hear more, to truly understand the impact of his decisions. Over the next few days, Maverick continued his undercover mission, moving from theater to theater. He talked to employees, hearing their frustrations about understaffing and outdated equipment. He listened to more customers, hearing their complaints about the rising prices of tickets and snacks. One evening, at the Majestic 10, he overheard a single mom try to explain to her son that they couldn't get popcorn because it was too much money. The little boy's disappointed face was like a punch to Maverick's gut. It was clear something needed to change. He had lost touch with the very people who made Stellar Cinemas what it was. He had gotten caught up in the business side of things and forgotten the human side. The weight of this realization was heavy. He felt a deep sense of responsibility. These were his theaters, his employees, his customers, and he had let them down, even without realizing it. Finally, the day came when Maverick decided to reveal himself. He gathered all the employees of the Grandview 8, the theater where he had first heard Luna and Chloe's conversation. There was a buzz of confusion as they saw this regular-looking guy step onto the small stage usually reserved for announcements. He took a deep breath and spoke, his voice filled with sincerity. "Hi, everyone. My name is Maverick Jones, and I'm the CEO of Stellar Cinemas." A stunned silence filled the room. You could practically hear a pin drop. He continued, "For the past few weeks, I've been working undercover in our theaters, and I've learned something incredibly important. I've learned that while we might be doing well on paper, we're not doing as well as we could be in the hearts of our customers and our employees." He shared some of the conversations he had overheard, the struggles he had witnessed. He spoke about Luna and Chloe, about the single mom and her son. His voice cracked with emotion as he talked about the importance of making movies accessible to everyone. Then he announced some big changes. Ticket prices would be lowered, especially for matinee showings and families. Employee wages would be increased, and they would be investing in better training and equipment. He wanted to create a place where both customers and employees felt valued and appreciated. There was a mix of surprise, and then a wave of applause and cheers. The employees were excited, hopeful. A few weeks later, Maverick visited the Grandview 8 again, this time not in disguise. As he walked through the lobby, he saw Luna and Chloe standing in line, their faces beaming. They were excitedly talking about the new superhero movie. He approached them, a smile on his face. "Hey, girls, enjoying the movie?" Luna's eyes widened in recognition. You're the guy who was sweeping." Maverick chuckled. "That's me, and I'm really glad to see you back." Chloe grinned. "Yeah, the prices are way better now. My mom said we can come more often." In that moment, Maverick felt a sense of fulfillment he had never experienced in his office. It wasn't about the numbers or the profits. It was about the smiles on these girls' faces, the joy of knowing he had made a difference. The journey of leadership isn't always about boardrooms and big decisions. Sometimes, it's about stepping out of your comfort zone, listening to the whispers, and having the courage to make things right. It's about remembering the human element, the real people behind the numbers. What do you think about Maverick's decision? Have you ever experienced something similar, where you realize the importance of seeing things from a different perspective? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, even the smallest actions can create the biggest impact. Never underestimate the power of empathy and understanding. That's the real blockbuster of life.